The story you're about to see is a big, fat lie. No names have been changed to protect anybody.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the USCFL Network, in association with YouTube, presents the USCFL Postgame Show. Here's once again is Robbie Graham.
Greetings, cartoon and football fans. This is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network welcoming you to the quarterfinals, along with the action and highlights of Week 13 of the USCFL's 2022 season. This week, 3 of the last 4 Disney Bowl champions played, as well as the defending champions. The 80s All-Stars, winners of the inaugural Disney Bowl, will play next week. It's been 15 years since the USCFL have had a team with back-to-back titles. Before merging with Hanna-Barbera, the Smurfs were the last team to do this, and only the third team in league history to do so. Team Canada is the defending champions. They played in the first game this week. Will they win against the Jim Henson All-Stars, or is their reign as champions is over? You will know by the end of this video. For the second meeting, Wonder Woman and the DC Comics All-Stars squared off with She-Ra and the Filmation All-Stars. It's the 10th meeting between these two great heroines. Wonder Woman has dominated the rivalry, winning 8 of the last 9 meetings. But She-Ra has the hardware, with 4 USCFL titles and 2 title game MVPs. She-Ra won the last meeting. Can she win again? Or will Wonder Woman come out on top? These questions will be looked at and answered by the end of this video. There's no question about joining our team and subscribe to this channel. We strive to be one of YouTube's least offensive channels, providing a different spin about your favorite cartoon characters, past and present. If we don't mention your favorite character or characters in these post-game shows, let us know by leaving a comment and we'll answer your questions. Also, be sure to ring the bell to alert you of when we put up any new video. With the final matches underway ending with Disney Bowl 5, now is a good time to join our team. After a brief pause, we will talk about and present the highlights of Game 25 between the defending champs Team Canada against the Jim Henson All-Stars from Denver.
But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door. Just you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive. Oh.
Welcome back. Once again, we have the defending champions playing in the quarterfinals with the hope that they could go back to the Disney Bowl and win back-to-back titles. For the 4th straight year, the defending champs have reached the playoff stage. The 80s All-Stars lost in the quarterfinals in 2019. Jim Henson lost to Filmation in the semifinals in 2020. And Filmation lost to Team Canada in the semifinals last year. The question is, can Team Canada beat this championship jinx the defending champions seem to have? I'm afraid to say, but the answer is no. But not at first. Jim Henson got on the board first with a long field goal by Rolfe. Then Team Canada took the lead thanks to Justin of the Total Drama series, filling in for Harold, and ran the ball in from 1 yard out to go up 7-3. Towards the end of the first quarter, Kermit the Frog found Fozzie Bear for a 52-yard touchdown pass to go up 10-7 after the first quarter. 2 minutes into the second quarter, Kermit found the Great Gonzo from 15 yards out to go up 17-7. Jonesy Garcia of 16 cut the lead to 7 with a chip shot field goal. Kermit found Gonzo again from 12 yards out to take a 24-10 lead. Rolfe's second field goal put Jim Henson up 27-10 at halftime. In the third quarter, Miss Piggy found the end zone from 13 yards out to take a commanding 34-10 lead. Jonesy Garcia managed to put up a pair of field goals as the defending champs trailed 34-16 at the end of the third quarter. At the start of the fourth quarter, Kermit threw his 4th touchdown pass to Big Bird to go up 41-16. Izzy, who had been slowed down by the Jim Henson defense, finally got going and found Gwen from 28 yards out to trail 41-23. Miss Piggy brought home the bacon again with her second touchdown run to give Jim Henson a 48-23 victory. Jim Henson will advance to the semifinals while the defending champs' reign ends and finishes in 8th place. This has now been 15 consecutive years that the defending champs have failed to go back to the championship game and win back-to-back titles. As for the stats in this game, beginning with Team Canada, Izzy finished 28 of 49 for 338 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. Harold rushed for 61 yards on 22 carries. Gwen led the receivers with 8 catches for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Finn McLeod of Stoke led the defense with 7 tackles and 9 assists. Jonesy Garcia finished with 11 points. For Jim Henson, Kermit the Frog, the game MVP, finished 28 of 39 for 355 yards and 4 touchdowns. Miss Piggy rushed for 150 yards on 31 carries and 2 touchdowns. Gonzo led the receivers with 10 catches for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cookie Monster led the defense with 4 tackles, 10 assists, and 1 interception. Rolf finished with 12 points. And here is how the highlights of this game looked on screen. After a brief pause, we will talk about and present the highlights of an interesting Game 26, a game we believed was the game of the year between Wonder Woman and the DC Comics All-Stars against She-Ra and the Filmation All-Stars in their 10th meeting from Richmond, Virginia.
I got the stuff that you want. I got the thing that you need. I got more than enough to make you drop to your knees. 'Cause I'm the queen of the night. Queen of the night. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Welcome back. Here on YouTube, other YouTubers have pitted the Princess of Themyscira against the Princess of Power in other forms of media. For instance, one YouTuber pit them as if they were wrestlers in the WWE. 2 such videos were made, and the series is split at 1 match apiece. I don't know if a tiebreaker was ever made. Another channel pit them in a death match, with Wonder Woman winning. As for how she did that, I'll let you see it for yourself. And here in the USCFL, Wonder Woman has dominated the series by winning 8 of the last 9 meetings, either in regular season or exhibition games. But this would be the first time they would meet in a playoff game. I honestly thought that we would have this game on the USCFL's biggest stage, but in this game in Richmond, Virginia last night, it proved to be a good matchup. As for their last meeting, She-Ra won in an exhibition game last year to commemorate International Women's Day. Wonder Woman left that game in the 4th quarter with an injury. Since joining the USCFL in 2006, Wonder Woman has proven to be She-Ra's Achilles heel, her kryptonite, and her weakness. But She-Ra's got something Wonder Woman doesn't have here in the USCFL. 19 extra years on her, 4 USCFL championship victories, and 2 title game MVPs, along with a series of personal, team, league, and season records. Wonder Woman also has a few records and accolades to her credit as well. But as far as that point is concerned, She-Ra has dominated that part of the contest. But all of that changed with an amazing performance by the Filmation All-Stars. In the first half, it looked like Wonder Woman and the DC Comics All-Stars would win once again. After Adora put up a pair of field goals to start the game, midway through the first quarter, Wonder Woman threw a 20-yard touchdown pass to the Huntress to go up 7-6 after the first quarter. A pair of Batgirl field goals extended the lead 13-6 at the midway point of the second quarter. Then with 1:20 left in the half, Spinnerella ran the ball in from 1 yard out to tie the game. With 14 seconds left, She-Ra found her castmate Glimmer from 31 yards out to go up 20-13. On the last play of the first half, Wonder Woman threw a successful Hail Mary pass. The Huntress caught the pass, but was 12 yards short, and Filmation led 20-13 at halftime. The only score of the third quarter was when Filmation tight end Peekaboo, who during the regular season format was one of the top receiving tight ends in the league, hadn't managed to score a touchdown since the Disney Bowl format was created, until now. She-Ra threw to her from 13 yards out to finally get that score as Filmation led 27-13 after the third quarter. The only score of the fourth quarter came as Wonder Woman found the Flash from 4 yards out to trail 27-20 with under 12 minutes left to play. Then the Filmation defense helped the cause by stopping every chance DC Comics had to tie the game, including 2 stops on fourth down. Then Filmation ran out the clock down to the 2-minute warning. DC Comics, thinking they had one more chance to tie the game and go into overtime, on a fourth down play, Filmation performed a fake punt, a rarity in the USCFL, as Rudy from Fat Albert got the first down needed to win the game 27-20. She-Ra won her second straight contest against Wonder Woman, but more importantly, Filmation is heading back to the semifinals for the third straight year. DC Comics is eliminated and finishes in 7th place. As for the stats in this game, beginning with DC Comics, Wonder Woman finished 23 of 36 for 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Robin rushed for 94 yards on 23 carries. Hawkman gets a shout out as he rushed for 99 yards on 8 carries, including a 55-yard run that almost tied the game. The Huntress led the receivers with 4 catches for 140 yards and 1 touchdown. The Penguin led the defense with 7 tackles and 4 assists. Batgirl finished with 8 points. For Filmation, She-Ra finished 30 of 51 for 347 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Spinnerella rushed for 153 yards on 33 carries and 1 touchdown. Glimmer led the receivers with 6 catches for 99 yards. J.B. McBride of Braystar led the defense with 8 tackles and 2 assists. Adora finished with 9 points. Skeletor of the He-Man series was the player of the game with 5 tackles, 3 assists, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Wonder Woman's Hail Mary pass, the 2 stops on fourth down, and the fake punt are included in the highlights. And here is how the highlights of this interesting game looked on screen. I've always thought that the music heard in the original She-Ra series would make good background music for a football highlight reel. Do you agree? Leave a comment. After a brief pause, we will continue our series of player profiles with a character who made a name for herself in both reality TV and the USCFL, as we will profile Gwen of the Total Drama series.
Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal vacation, unnecessary sedation. You wanna feel at home, 'cause you belong. Welcome to my nightmare.
Welcome to my breakdown. I hope I didn't scare you. That's just the way we are when we come down.
Welcome back. The Total Drama series has become one of the most beloved animated series in the world after its debut in 2007. The success of the show, along with 16 and Stoked, all of which were created by the same pair of animators, prompted the USCFL to put an expansion team in Canada for the first time ever in 2012. And while there are characters in the league from 7 different countries, only Canada got a team of their own. And one character from the Total Drama series has been so influential, and her performances on both the series and the gridiron has quickly made her an all-around fan favorite. For this week's profile, we're profiling Gwen of the Total Drama series and who she is, how she did in the show, and her success in the league. And now for Gwen's backstory and her time both on Total Drama Island and in the USCFL. Gwen was not only a contestant on Total Drama Island, but on Total Drama Action, Total Drama World Tour, and Total Drama All-Stars as well. Gwen, a goth girl whose interest lies in art and astronomy, she is smart, independent, kind, and level-headed. Stating her best quality is her inability to get excited over minuscule things. Her attitude at first seems very harsh and sarcastic, but she is not a bitter person. During the season, she develops a crush on Trent and forms an intense rivalry with her teammate Heather. During the numerous physical and social obstacles in her way, Gwen remains strong enough to make it to the finale alongside Owen. Gwen, who does not initially like socializing with others, but in the first season she has a crush on Trent, as I mentioned, and began dating him. She eventually became a finalist on the first season with Owen. During the second season, her and Trent's relationship deteriorates after they are placed on separate teams, and she eventually breaks up with him when he starts throwing challenges for her. She becomes friends with Duncan during the season, which causes Courtney to become jealous. In season 3, she becomes friends with Courtney, but Gwen destroys their friendship by kissing Duncan while he was still with Courtney. In season 5, she makes several attempts to mend her friendship with Courtney and is eventually successful, only for it to be ruined again after Gwen finds out about Courtney's elimination chart. But in the USCFL, Gwen and her fellow castmates and the rest of Team Canada don't have to worry about individual elimination, but rather team elimination, like what they experienced this weekend. Just as what Kim Possible had done for Disney as a wide receiver, Gwen has done the same for Team Canada. She has provided the success Team Canada has had. In 2012, when Team Canada first joined the USCFL, They won the old Western Division title with an 11-3 record, with Gwen being the top receiver in the old Pacific Conference. When the league was resurrected in 2015, Gwen's performances in the Galaxy Cup format proved to the NFL that the USCFL is for real. Now in the Disney Bowl format, Gwen was instrumental in their championship run last year and helped the team to get to the quarterfinals this year. She was the top receiver in 3 out of the 4 games Team Canada played this year, including Friday's game against Jim Henson. The stats speak for themselves. In those 3 games that she was the top receiver, Gwen had 19 catches for 327 yards and 2 touchdowns. But remember 2 things. First, 4 teams plays a maximum of 6 games in the USCFL's current format. And 2, in Team Canada's defense, they didn't put up a lot of points on the board, which makes everyone's stats low. Gwen won Total Drama Island everywhere else in the world except for the US, where Owen had won. Cartoon Network was the big winner that night, as the finale aired as they had a 20 share in the ratings and 3.5 million viewers tuning in. No matter if it's a stinky campsite or the glitz and glamour of professional football, Gwen and the rest of Team Canada will continue their excellence both on television and in the USCFL. The following is a brand new video with clips from Total Drama Island. I'm sorry I don't have other shows Gwen was in because they weren't available on DVD here in the US. But in 2023, look for Gwen and the rest of Team Canada to get their marshmallows on their way to what they hope will be a second Disney Bowl title.
The fact that Gwen is so smart and independent, coupled with the fact that she's incredible to look at, is just making me nuts. She rocks my world. So yeah, I'll take a skunk shot for her any day.
people here stank. They were nothing but a bunch of backstabbing, manipulative, two-timing, fame-hungry, dim-witted, certifiably insane, really weird, psychotic, redneck, overbearing, goody-goody, know-it-all, party-obsessed jerks. I was lucky enough to meet 5 people who are actually sane.
We had to give her the final word, but again, none of that matters since they are all on one team, a team called Team Canada. After one final pause, we will reveal the answer to last week's trivia question, this week's question, and a preview of the final 2 quarterfinal matches. Welcome back. Now for the answer to last week's trivia question. We pointed out that the old kitchen sink gag is the oldest gag in the book as far as cartoons are concerned. The question was, what exactly is the old kitchen sink gag? We promised that we would show you an example of it, and here it is.
Well, it looks like you've thrown just about everything in the village but the kitchen sink. I guess I was wrong.
And there you have it. Anytime any cartoon character mentions something, anything about the kitchen sink, a kitchen sink will come on screen. Yosemite Sam was the first to experience this way back in 1953. Now for this week's question. The category is, and now a word from our sponsor. The degree of difficulty is pro, meaning general knowledge. Several cartoon characters have endorsed many products over the years. The Pink Panther was no exception. He was the spokescat for 2 different products. Owens Corning fiberglass insulation for ceilings and attics in people's homes, and a popular sugar substitute. The question is, which sugar substitute did the Pink Panther endorse? Is the correct answer A, Equal, B, Sweet and Low, C, Splenda, or D, Stevia? We'll have the answer for you next week. And that will do it for Week 13 of the USCFL's 2022 season. Next week, the quarterfinals will conclude, as we will talk about and present the highlights of Game 27 between the number 3 seed Comic Strip All-Stars and the number 6 seed 80s All-Stars from Houston, and the highlights of Game 28 between the number 4 seed Warner Brothers All-Stars and the number 5 seed Fox All-Stars from Philadelphia. Who will join Jim Henson and Filmation in the semifinals? Find out next week as we will answer this question, as well as another player profile in the USCFL. And until next Sunday, this is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network wishing you peace. Take care and stay safe.
characters and franchises mentioned throughout this webcast remains the copyright of their respective owners. They were used for the purpose of entertainment and or education, and therefore no breach of any copyright laws were intended. This webcast is protected under copyright and must not be rewritten, re-recorded, rebroadcast or re-uploaded in whole or in part without the prior written consent of First and 10 Productions, the American Association of Animation, and the United States Cartoon Football League. Copyright 2022.